Hello, 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 hello. I am present. Thank you for being present. Let me, oh god, I need to reload my chat because that is small. That is very small. I can't say. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes. Q's, you are here. Excellent, excellent. Happy to see you. How's it going? How's it going? Are you ready for more Genji? Are you ready for chapter 2? The Broom Tree? I know I am. Oh my god, it's actually like raining outside. I'm so surprised. Very surprised. What does the weather say for this area that I exist in? Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This shit's gonna rain all night. That's nice. You know, it's really nice because hopefully it'll blast the last of snow that's on my roof off of it. I'm a happy camper. That's always nice. Yeah. That's less ice and snow that I have to broom off my roof. You love to hear it. Love to hear it. Oh man. Alright, so I think we're good with all this stuff. And thanks to suggestions the other day, I've actually finally put this in the actual writing and reading category instead of just chatting, so we're leveling up here. We are so leveling up here. Oh my god. So leveling up. What does this do? Oh god, it takes me right to it. Oh god. No, don't take me there. Not yet. Spoilers. Spoilers. Oh god. Chapter 2. Okay. Whoo-wee. We got some thickness to read tonight. Oh, and it's raining in chapter 2 too. Oh my god. My eyes just caught it. It's raining in chapter 2. Oh my god. Oh my god, goosebumps. So, if y'all want to follow along with me reading, Hold on. Hold on here. I got this. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right, so copy and paste that in the late chat. Hopefully it works. If y'all want to read along with me, there you go. It should take you right to the right page that we're on for chapter 2. If you don't want to read along and you just want me to lull you to sleep, or you just want to listen to my commentary, that's good too. That's good too. So don't worry. We got you. We got you. But first, I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna eat one of these real quick while we're waiting for people to trickle in. For people to trickle trackle in. I'm gonna eat my dinner, which is one of these. Not sponsored. Just enjoy them. I just enjoy them. This is my cheat meal. All right, for Wednesday. Oh hell yes, delightful. These are so good. Actually, you might be able to hear the rain through the chicken coop. I'm not sure if it's audible, but we're gonna try it. While I'm eating this bar. Mm-mm-mm. Sweet bliss. It's pouring outside. Dang. Had to get up. Is sound on? Yeah. Can you hear me? There's sound. We're good. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'm eating this bar while the rain is I'm probably echoing, but I just can you hear the rain in the coop on the stream? Let me know. Oh, no, boo. Okay, well, never mind then. All right. We tried it. It didn't work. That's okay. Mm. My God, what a good dinner. Mm-mm-mm. Did you have dinner yet, Q's? If you did, what'd you eat? I want to know. Ooh, eating now chicken quesadillas. Ooh, are they takeout or frozen or homemade? I gotta know. I gotta know. Almost done with this bar. Mm. Oh my God, there's just something about food when you're starving. Oh my God, so good. Oh snap, that's awesome. My mom made them for the private school she's the lunch lady at and then brought the extras home. That is the best. Oh man, that's awesome. That's so good. Man, I had a neighbor when I was a kid. Their grandpa was the lunch dude for a private school, and he would bring like so much food for them home. Like these neighbors, they had literally had like 6 kids, so like any food, any like food was gobbled. So, but like they had like frozen fruit and like all kinds of stuff, and I was so jealous as a kid. Oh man, that that memory just hit me. Oh my God, Real Sayaka! Hey, hey, hey! Subscribe to Tier One. Thank you so much. You've been subscribed for a whole year. Thank you. Big dot. The big number we hit the calendar. It's full like New Year. Like patience pays off when the. I'm not very good at this stream intro, so I'm too excited. You're too excited. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subbing for 12 months. I appreciate it. The chickens appreciate it. Scott appreciates it. I'm sure everybody appreciates. Do I like get a birthday cake now or something? Um, you know, if we ever meet up in real life, I will buy you a cake. That's how it's gonna go. I appreciate your appreciation. Thank you. No, 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 you, no, you, no, you, no, you, no, you. I'm sure Scott appreciates the money. Well, I personally appreciate it because we have to rebuild a chicken run and that's expensive. So that's what all my spending money is going to is fixing that chicken run. It's gonna cost a lot. But we're buying from a UK company, so the parts from a UK company, so that's good. I ain't ever visiting the US, so good luck with that. You know, I don't blame you, but if I ever if we ever visit the UK is what I was thinking, because I ain't asking nobody to come over here. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I try not to talk about current events, but woo, words are hard. They really are. They really are. In fact, words are so hard. We're gonna read a whole bunch. We're gonna read a whole bunch today. We're gonna read so many words. So many goddamn words. Like 90 goddamn words. Oh my god, this tea is hitting it too. Whew. Oh man. Oh man. Today I had to babysit those birds today, those chickens. I was hanging out with them today. And one of our girls has gotten so aggressive that she like chases the other ones around and she's crazy. And that's why we named her Nut. Reading words? Don't we have a residential expert on reading words in the room with us right now? I remember. Yeah, he's downstairs. He's working on a project with that involves other words. Not writing words, but coding words. The alpha chicken. You know, surprisingly, she's not the alpha chicken. She's not, surprisingly. She's number 2 in command. She's number 2. That's why she's on my shit list. But I'm so funny. I'm so funny. Yeah, so oh nut. Recesses too, right along Boogaloo. Ooh, that sounds fun. You know, maybe next week we should do a recesses play along cuz allegedly allegedly no one's made it past level 1 on a stream through of recesses, and like even though people keep asking for more like from these streamers, like nobody's gotten there yet. So I may take it upon myself to do that. Or if Scott ever buys Fear and Hunger like he said he was going to, we were going to play that at some point too. So, you know. What the fuck is it, the Dark Souls of card games? I mean, not really. It's just a really well done card game that's, similar but also different from current ones, you know? It's, a little bit of Magic the Gathering, a little bit of Pokemon, a little bit of this and that, all kinds of things. We'll see though. I personally would like to play it. Scott requests that I have to do a whole, like, a fresh start when I do it though. That's his only request. And I'll do that. So maybe there's a game bug that stops you getting past level 1. No, there definitely isn't, because there's people that have gotten, like, the uber secret boss. Allegedly, there's people who've played have already gotten to the uber secret boss. Somebody's already written somebody wrote like a guide to the game in Chinese on Steam, I think, that walks you through a lot of it. Um, so there's a lot of info on Steam. So people clearly have gotten to like all the dark corners of the game. It's just the people who are streaming it haven't gotten to past level 1 yet. And there's 3 levels, so and then some after game and um, uber secret bosses and things like that. So yeah, I'm sorely disappointed in the internet. Me too. Me too. But yeah, if you check the Steam page for Recesses, there's a lot of info there if you want all the spoilery secrets. But oh my god, I might have to have one of these guys. I'm gonna have to whip out the Japanese uh, throat drops because I know that I talk a lot on stream, but I talk all day as for a living too. Um, so I answer phone calls all day, and I think my throat needs a little bit of love. I guess I'm reading with a cough drop in my mouth, but you know what? That's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there. So anyways, back to Genji here. Back to Genji the Shining One. So I guess to kind of recap, right? We've we read chapter 1, and it was very depressing and very sad, and a lot of people died and a lot of people were really sad, and there was a Korean fortune teller that said, yeah, son, you've got like all the makings to be emperor and you kind of have to be, but you know, and if you are going to be emperor, then your reign is going to be sad and confusing, which is not good for anyone. That's not what anybody wants to hear. Because lady waiting in the wings is fucking Kolkiden, the murderous stepmother of Genji, who officially her son, Genji's older brother, is the going to be emperor. So there's going to be some struggle. There has to be some struggle. And I know that this played out in real life historically as well. I don't remember the names. But this book is semi real life, semi fictional. Lady Murasaki just kind of grabbed from a lot of places. So she was there for it all. And she wrote all the juicy tidbits and details and all the gossip. So that queen, she did so much work. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna read chapter 2, the broom tree. I hope it's, again, I hope that's not anybody getting like beaten with a broomstick or something. I don't know. I don't know what the meaning of this is, but we'll figure it out. So if you guys wanna read along, I will post it in the chat again. We're reading from there, starting on page 39. I know that the text on the screen isn't the best. That's because I'm lazy. If you don't like it, just read along. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. I don't know. Lazy? Yeah. Obviously, it's about a hanging tree where you beat people with brooms as they hang around. Well, that's just a piñata, right? That's just human piñatas, right? Like, I don't know. That's kind of dark. It's kind of dark. Um all right. So, this is the girl that fixed up her entire stream on her second stream back. Well, see, you see, that was really easy. Stream Elements made it really easy. I'm not sponsored by them, but they made it really easy. Like this whole layout is literally just like their free layout that you can tinker with. Like, so shouts to them. And like it took me like a few hours to figure it out, but yeah, I guess I fixed it. I guess. Or maybe I'm just really resourceful. I don't know. Or maybe I was hyper focusing and I didn't know. These things happen. These things happen. All right. Well, anyways, we should read because we're not gonna learn about this shit um if we don't read. So here we go. All right. So Genji, the shining one. Oh, if you want real tech issues, Abby should get a VTuber model. You know? Shutting the fuck up now. I would love to be a VTuber. I would love to do that, honestly. But I do not have the money or the machine for that at the moment. There was like a free VTuber avatar creator that I forget some company released, and I think I still have the program for. I made a bunny. Um, but yeah, we'll figure that out at another time. I hope Abby never goes VTuber. But see, I remember Real Saga. I remember a long time ago when you suggested that I should be a VTuber several years ago. I remember that, but I'm not gonna hold it against you. People's opinions change. So you miss all the juicy real facial reactions. You really do. I got giga brain memory. My goodness. Shutting doubly off now. Listen. My mind is a steel trap for certain things. My mind is a bear trap for certain things. My mind is also a fucking sieve for other things. So I happen to remember that. I'm glad it was caught in the steel trap and I could use it just now. Anyway, so oh my god, I'm getting like a blood sugar rush because I hadn't eaten in a while and then I just ate, so I can feel my face flushing. That's nice. Okay, all right. So let's read. I think there's some stuff about letters coming up. There's some. I don't. You know what? I honestly have no idea what's coming up. Let's just read. Genji the Shining One. He knew that the bearer of such a name could not escape much scrutiny and jealous censure, and that his lightest dallyings would be proclaimed to posterity. Yeah, so this guy can't fuck around because he's like basically the chosen one. Abby's peak ADHD memory. She will forget her home address, but remember that one coworker's stupid joke that wasn't ever funny. And that's not saying that what Real Like I said wasn't funny. But yeah, my mind is like that. Yes, I will forget my own goddamn phone number, but like I will remember that one time you said that one really weird thing in that one very specific situation, and I remember it like the whole everything in my head the whole image and where we were and all that. Exactly. Exactly. That's how it works. that's how that's how the brain works, folks. At least mine and other people's who have ADHD. Anyways, so fearing then lest he should appear to after ages as a mere good for nothing and trifler, he triflin, and knowing that so accursed is the babbling of gossips' tongues, his most secret acts might come to light. Oh hell yes, give us the tea. He was obliged always to act with great prudence and to preserve at least the outward appearance of respectability. Thus, nothing really romantic ever happened to him, and Katano no Shosho would have scoffed at his story. Who the fuck is Katano no Shosho? Here we go. We got end notes. We'll check this out. The hero of a lost popular romance is also referred to by Murasaki's contemporary Sei Shonagon in chapter 144 of her Makura no Soshi, so pillow book. Sei Shonagon is like is Lady Murasaki's like arch rival, kind of. So, okay, so I'm glad that they had that footnote for us. Now we have to go all the way back to page 39. Wait, I have this handy dandy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got it. All right. All right, so here we go. Um, yeah, so while he was still a captain of the guard and was spending most of his time at the palace, his infrequent visits to the great hall were taken as a sign that some secret passion had made its imprint on his heart. Oh boy. But in reality, the frivolous, commonplace, straight ahead amours of his companions did not in the least interest him, and it was a curious trait in his character that when on rare occasions, despite all resistance, love did gain a hold upon him, it was always in the most improbable and hopeless entanglement that he became involved. Ooh, that sucks. So yeah, like he's not into like all that romantic bullshit, but when he does get involved, it's messy. It's fucking messy. Great. This really is Game of Thrones. Let's see how messy it gets. It was the season of the long rains. Oh wow, likely ban evader restricted. Okay, we got let's see, how do I ban this motherfucker? I want to know. Okay, I got it. We got it. Likely ban evader. That's funny. Yeah. Well, ban evader, go evade bans somewhere else, buddy. All right, so here we go. Um, for many days there had not been a fine moment, and the court was keeping a strict fast. The people at the great hall were becoming very impatient of Genji's long residence at the palace. Oh, boo-hoo! Heaven forbid he need a place to stay. But the young lords, who were court pages, liked waiting upon Genji better than upon anyone else, always managing to put out his clothes and decorations in some marvelous new way. Among these brothers, his greatest friend was the equerry, To no Chujo, with whom, above all other companions of his playtime, he found himself familiar and at ease. This lord was too. This lord too found the house, which I lost my spot. This lord too found the house which his father-in-law, the minister of the right, had been at pains to build for him, somewhat oppressive. While at his father's house, he, like Genji, this is the biggest fucking run-on sentence I've ever heard. He, like Genji, found the splendors somewhat dazzling, so that he ended by becoming Genji's constant companion at the court. They shared both studies and play and were inseparable companions on every sort of occasion, so that soon all formalities were dispersed with between them and the inmost secrets of their hearts freely exchanged. Wow, I love freely exchanging secrets. That makes me very happy. Also, also, I have noticed that this whole translation, Arthur Wiley, the guy that translated this a long time ago, like back in 1925, whatever, um, he tried so hard. And it seems like this reads to me like I was assigned to translate this, and oh fuck, it's the night before. I'm just gonna skim through it and pull out the good bits. And then he turned it in a week later. That's what it reads like to me. I don't know if that's how it reads to you guys, but I don't know. That's what it reads like to me. I mean, like, again, I wish I could read the classical Japanese and just like, like read the original, but we gotta do with what's public domain and what won't get me in any sort of copyright thing. So whatever, what we make do. He tried so hard, got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. It did matter because it's on Project Gutenberg and public domain, so it mattered a little. It's there. It's on the record. He did it. He finished the assignment. I don't know. I don't know. There's probably more information on in the preface about, you know, him doing this or whatever, but we didn't read the preface and we're not going to. So, I don't know. I don't know. All right, so here we go. Blah, 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 blah. So they were freely exchanging he was freely exchanging secrets and whatever with Tolno Chujo. And it was on a night when the rain never ceased and it ceased its dismal downpour, like tonight. There were not many people about in the palace, and Genji's room seemed even quieter than usual. He was sitting by the lamp, excuse me, looking at various books and papers. Suddenly he began pulling some letters out of the drawers of a desk which stood nearby. This aroused Tono Chujo's curiosity. Some of them I can show to you, said Genji, but there are others which I'd rather. It's just those which I want to see. Ordinary commonplace letters are very much alike, and I do not suppose that yours differ much from mine. What I want to see are passionate letters written in moments of resentment, letters hinting consent, letters written at dusk. So he's going through all the drawers of this desk, um, of this room where his mom used to stay, looking for some juicy shit. He's looking for the tea. He's looking for the tea. He's looking for gossip. He's looking for primary sources. Um, he begged so eagerly, like Genji let him examine the drawers. Oh, I'm sure he let him examine some kind of drawers, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. It was not indeed likely that he had put any very important or secret documents in the ordinary desk. He would have hidden them away much further from sight. So he felt sure that the letters in these drawers would be nothing to worry about. After turning over a few of them, "What an astonishing variety!" Tono Chujo exclaimed, and began guessing at the writers' names, and made one or two good hits. So he's smart. Okay. More often he was wrong, and Genji, amused by his puzzled air, said very little but generally managed to lead him astray. At last he took the letters back, saying, "But you too must have a large collection, so show me some of yours, and my desk will open to you with better will." Ooh! Okay. Saucy. We like that. "I have none that you would care to see," said Toldo Chiûjiô, and he continued, "I have at last discovered that there exists no woman of whom one can say, 'Here's perfection, this is indeed she, this is that bitch, she is a goddess, the goddess, perfection in all her splendor, blah blah blah.' hmm There are many who have the superficial art of writing a good running hand, or if occasion requires of making a quick repartee. But there are few who will stand the ordeal of any further test. It's all superficial, baby." Usually their minds are entirely occupied by admiration for their own accomplishments, and their abuse of all rivals creates a most unpleasant impression. Some again are adored by over-fond parents. Yeah, we all get that. These have been since childhood guarded behind lattice windows, and no knowledge of them is allowed to reach the outer world, save that of their excellence in some accomplishment or art, and this may indeed sometimes arouse our interest. Okay, she is pretty and graceful and has not yet mixed in with all the world. Such a girl, by closely copying some model and applying herself with great industry, will often succeed in really mastering one of the minor and ephemeral arts. All right, so I guess they're talking about letters that his betrothed is writing at this point, maybe. Her friends are careful to say nothing of her defects and to exaggerate her accomplishments, and while we cannot altogether trust their praise, we cannot believe that their judgment is entirely astray. But when we take steps to test their statements, we are invariably disappointed. Okay, okay. So basically, yeah, no one's perfect. There is no perfect woman. You can read all these letters about her all you want. Like, the truth is like somewhere between what these letters say and, your impression of them, I guess. I don't know. Like, these letters aren't 100% truth, I guess is what he's saying. Buyer beware, in essence. He paused, seemingly to be slightly ashamed of the cynical tone with which he had adopted, and added, I know my experience is not large, but that is the conclusion I've come to so far. Then Genji, smiling, are there any who lack even one accomplishment? No doubt, but in such a case it is unlikely that anyone would be successfully decoyed. The number of those who have nothing to recommend them and of those with whom nothing good can be found is probably equal. Okay. So like they're kind of like dissecting this. Okay. I'm talking about ladies. I don't think just the betrothed, but just ladies in general, I think. Okay. So the number of those who have nothing to recommend them and of those in whom nothing but good can be found is probably equal. I divide women into three classes. Okay, so he's got like a system. This Tono Chujo's got a system. Those of high rank and birth are made such a fuss of, and their weak points are so completely concealed that we are certain to be told that they are paragons. About those of the middle class, everyone is allowed to express his own opinion, and we shall have much conflicting evidence to sift. As for the lower classes, they do not concern us. Wow, okay. So, if you have a high rank in birth and probably lots of money, you can conceal all of your secrets. But if you're middle class, you're fair game, and if you're not middle class, well, you don't matter apparently. All right. So I guess there's no lower class ladies in this story for us. Um, okay. The completeness with which Told no Chujo disposed of the question amused Genji. Real world in my fantasy story? Right? What? What? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody want that, right? No, this story is like it's like half truths, half lies. So it's like it's historical but fiction at the same time. So so I guess there's gonna bound to be some parts that are hashtag too real, but that's okay. We got it. We got it. All right. So who said Genji, who said, it will not always be so easy to know into which of the three classes a woman ought to be put. For sometimes people of high rank sink to the most abject positions, while others of common birth rise to be high officers. Okay, there we go. Okay, a little bit of unreliable narrator, my favorite. Wait, is that me? Is that me? Or is that the author? I don't know. I don't know. All right, so Genji's now just kind of like picking apart this whole um three classes thing that Tono Chujo is messing with here, or that he came up with. Um, so while others of common birth rise to be high officers, where self-important faces redecorate the inside of their houses and think themselves as good as anyone, how are we to deal with such cases? Yeah, it's not always black and white, Tono Chujo. God damn. Did you think about that? I don't think so. I don't think you did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At this moment, they were joined by Hidari no Uma no Kami and Tol Shikibu no Jo, who said that they had also come to the palace to keep the fast. And they all starving up in here, Jesus. As both of them were great lovers and good talkers. Oh, yes. Tonal Chujo handed over to them the decision of Genji's question, and in the discussion which followed, many unflattering things were said. Oh boy, here we go. I have no idea who this Hidari no Uma no Kami is and who Toshikibu no Jo is. But all I know is that their names are long. That's it. So we got Hidari Horse and Shikibujo. Yeah, whatever. All right. All right. So many unflattering things were said. Well, what kind of unflattering things? Let's find out. Uma no Kami spoke first. However high a lady may rise, if she does not come of an adequate stock, the world will think very differently of her from what it is what it would be of one born to such honors. But if through adverse fortune a lady of highest rank finds herself in friendless misery, my bad, friendless misery, the noble breeding of her mind is soon forgotten and she becomes an object of contempt. Mm. I think then that taking all things into account, we must put such ladies into the middle class. But when we come to classify the daughters of Zuriel, who are sent to labor at the affairs of distant provinces, they have such ups and downs that we may reasonably put them into the middle, two in the middle class. Okay, so they're getting like really deep into this. There are ministers of the third and fourth classes without cabinet rank. They're generally thought less of even than the humdrum ordinary officials. They are usually of quite good birth, blah blah blah. This is kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. Like I really don't give a shit about this. Um I'm just gonna skim it real quick. Blah, girls born in such households, blah blah blah. Okay. Their success has been to do with having a lot of money. Yep, that's how it works. Genji knows what's up. You should have known better than to say that. Exactly. Um Actually no. Genji's right. Genji's right. It's always been about money. It's always about money. There are some whose lineage and reputation are so high that it never occurs to one that their education could possibly be at fault. Yet when we meet them, we find ourselves exclaiming in despair, how could they have contrived to grow up like this? Because people fucking suck. That's why. That's why. It's not about breeding or, you know, sometimes it is about money, but sometimes the person is just garbage, you know? It happens. No doubt the perfect woman in whom none of these essentials is lacking must somewhere exist, and it would not startle me to find her. But she would certainly be beyond the reach of a humble person like myself, and for that reason I should like to put her in a category of her own and to not count her in our present classification. Okay. So even after all that, after talking about these three classes of women, he's just like, yeah, but like maybe like the perfect woman does exist and she just doesn't apply to any of those categories. Okay. All right. That's fine. We can deal with that. Okay, so here we go. But suppose that behind some gateway overgrown with vineweed, we've heard this before, in a place where no one knows there's a house at all, there should be locked away some creature of unimagined beauty. With what excitement should we discover her? The complete surprise of it, the upsetting of all of our wise theories and classifications would be likely, I think, to lay a strange and sudden enchantment upon us. Yeah, how crazy would that would be? You guys stumble upon like fucking Rapunzel or something, you know? Wild. I imagined her father rather large and gruff, her brother a surly, ill-looking fellow. Locked away in an utterly blank and uninteresting bedroom, she will be subject to odd flights of fancy, so that in her hands the arts that others learn as trivial accomplishments will seem strangely full of meaning and importance. Or perhaps in some particular art she will thrill us by her delightful and unexpected mastery. Such a one may perhaps be beneath the attention of those of you who have flawless lineage, but for my part, I find it hard to banish her. Okay, so this fantasy woman that's like good at stuff and actually appreciates it for what it is instead of being forced to do it because she's rich, like that's interesting. Okay, and so he's finding it hard to kind of put her in this this theoretical person into those groups. Okay. And here he looked at Shikibu no Jo, who wondered with whether the description had been meant to apply to his own sisters, but said nothing. Okay. If it is difficult to choose even out of the top class, thought Genji, and began to doze. I am dozing too. This is the most boring shit. Hmm. Let's see. He was dressed in a suit of soft white silk, with a rough cloak carelessly slung over his shoulders, with belt and fastenings untied. Okay. In the light of the lamp against which he was leaning, he looked so lovely one might have wished he were a girl. Ooh! And they thought that even Uma no Kami's perfect woman, whom he had placed in a category of her own, would not be worthy of such a prince as Genji. Scott has the magical power to drop any story or show in an instant. I remember. He does. He does. Yeah, I mean, if something is like amiss and he is not interested at all, he gives it like a 30-second chance and then it's just done. But see, this is like I at least want to sound like I know what I'm talking about Saturday. So maybe I should have like gotten a different translation that is less like, oh god, I have to translate this overnight. Oh god, I'm just gonna write some stuff. Because I'm sure maybe this whole conversation about class, like how they talk about women, it's probably more interesting in maybe in the original Japanese, um, because it's just kind of like makes like half sense, and I don't like the way that they're doing text either, like or like spoken word. Excuse me, like spoken word. Like I can't tell who's saying what half the time, like because there's just too much. Or maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe it's just the way it's formatted. I don't know. Lost in translation, possibly, possibly. Um, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. All right, how much is left of chapter 2? We gotta figure this out. Where's my mouse? Oh my god. Oh my god, I think my mouse just died. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, I thought my mouse died. Oh god, I thought my mouse died. Oh. I'm still a little miffed he dropped Avatar The Last Airbender after the first season, which is the weakest one. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to watch a little bit more, but I was too lazy to turn it on. Maybe Abby will take Scoot's advice and drop the story when she reaches the end. Maybe, maybe. Admittedly, he would be burned by the ending, but still. Oh. Scoot is the type of guy to drop Breaking Bad because season 1 is a little too slow. And you know what? That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what I did. You want Fear and Hunger? Yeah, Scott's supposed to buy it. He said he would buy it. I think it's only like $7. He said he would buy it. So I'm still waiting for him to do that. I think he's actively ignoring me. And that's okay. He's very focused right now. He's coding something and he's very, very focused. Okay, Scoot always keeps his word. He does. He does. And I'm gonna be full of fear and very hungry by the time we get to playing it. No, he'll do it. He'll do it. Oh, he's coding, so he's doing real job. Yeah, he's doing some. He's working on a project. He's collaborating on something with someone. Um, at the moment, so he's he's kind of busy. He's kind of busy, and that's okay. We're kind of busy too, maybe. Oh man. All right, so conversation went on. Many persons and things were discussed. Uma no Kami contended that perfection is equally difficult to find in other spheres. Yes, it is. The sovereign is hard put to choose. The sovereign is hard put to. Oh my god, I can't fucking read. Oh man, he's learning how to hack crypto wallets. I almost said he's learning how to crap hicto wallets, whatever that means. Oh god. Maybe he is. Who knows? Maybe we'll be rich by the time we wake up tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe he's mining some stuff. you, you were referencing Telephone by Lady Gaga with Kinda Busy, were you? If you weren't, my brain is rotted. Oh no, I definitely referenced that. 9,000% referenced that. You got it. You got it. 9,000. You were picking up, you're picking up what I was putting down. All right. You got it. Got it. All right. We got this. Let's keep reading. Um, so yes, they talked about a lot of stuff. Um, the sovereign's got to choose ministers. Pimpin' ain't easy, but he at least has an easier task than the husband, for he does not entrust the affairs of his kingdom to one, two, or three persons alone, but sets a whole system of superiors and subordinates. Yes, so that's great. Um, but when the mistress of a house is to be selected, a single individual must be found who will combine in her person many diverse qualities. It will not do to be too exacting. Yeah, it's never uh you can't be too exacting about anything. You'll be let down all the time. Oh god, I lost my spot. Oh god. Okay. Only because I listened to that song like 500 times in 2024. Oh yes. It's a good song. It's a good song. Very good song. Music video is good too. All right, so let us be sure that the lady of our choice possesses certain tangible qualities with which we admire, and if other ways she falls short of our ideal, we must be patient and call to mind those qualities which first induced us to begin our courting. Yeah, so we gotta pick this hot girl that does a lot of cool stuff, and if we ever forget about that cool stuff that she does, we gotta be patient with her and remind ourselves of those cool things that she does. Spoiler alert, it's probably sex or something like that. Anyways, but even here we must beware, for there are some who, in the selfishness of youth and flawless beauty, are determined that not a dust flick shall fall upon them. Very vain. In their letters, they choose the most harmless topics, yet contrive to color the very texture of the written signs with a tenderness that vaguely disquiets us. Wow. But such a one, when we have at last secured a meeting, will speak so low that she can be scarcely heard, and the few faint sentences that she murmurs beneath her breath serve only to make her more mysterious than before. Oh wow. All this may seem to be the pretty shrinking of girlish modesty, but we may later find that what held her back was the very violence of her passions. Okay. Okay, so maybe it is about sex. Okay. So they're talking about theoretical searching for theoretical brides, I guess, and talking to girls, and perhaps if they're like murmuring things, then that means they're just holding themselves back. They're holding themselves back. They're holding themselves back because they are so violently passionate about what they're talking about. Excellent. Or again, where all seems plain sailing, the perfect companion will turn out to be too impressionable and will upon most inappropriate occasions display her affections in so ludicrous a way that we will begin to wish ourselves rid of her. Oh yes, the overtly the PDA yeah, PDA girlfriend. Okay. Then there is the zealous housewife, who, regardless of her appearance, twists her hair behind her ears and devotes herself entirely to the details of our domestic welfare. Oh boy. The husband, in his comings and goings about the world, is certain to see and hear many things which he cannot discuss with strangers, but would gladly talk over with an intimate who could listen with sympathy and understanding, someone who could laugh at him or weep if need be. Like, weep at him? Or with him? Or because of him? Okay. It often happens, too, that some political event will greatly perturb or amuse him, and he sits apart longing to tell someone about it. He suddenly laughs at some secret recollection or sighs audibly, but the wife only says lightly, "What is the matter?" and shows no interest. Ooh, that's like, that hurts. Like, showing no interest and just being like, "Oh, what's the matter?" Okay. This is apt to be very trying. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know what else is trying? How long is this chapter? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. It's pretty long. Okay. Okay. We're almost back to where we were. Okay, so here we go. So Uma no Kami considered several other cases, but he reached no definite conclusion, and sighing deeply, he continued. We will then, as I have suggested, let birth and beauty go by the board. Let her be the simplest and most guileless of creatures, so long as she is honest and of a peaceful disposition, that in the end we may not lack a place of trust. Ah, okay. Looks don't matter, only trust. Okay. And if some other virtue chances to be hers, we shall treasure it as a godsend. But if we discover in her some small defect, it shall not be too closely scrutinized. Yeah, because nobody's perfect. And we may be sure that if she is strong in the virtues of tolerance and amiability, her outward appearance will not be beyond measure harsh. Okay. There are those who carry forbearance too far, and affecting not to notice wrongs which cry out for redress seem to be paragons of misused fidelity. I have no fucking idea what that means. There are those who carry forbearance too far, and affecting not to notice wrongs which cry out for redress, seem to be paragons of misused fidelity. Like you're too forgiving of the wrongs that you have that are in your choice of a partner, and so um you can't really trust them. I don't know what that means. But you know what? That's okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think maybe this is like my point where I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like I like the language, but what the fuck does it mean, right? Like I don't exactly. Oh man, yeah, I don't know if I can read any more of this. I mean, I know that Arthur Wiley, he tried so hard. He tried so hard and he got so far. Uh, but I guess okay, so if we read on, it says that suddenly a time comes when well somebody's grooming themselves in the coop. All right. Yeah, so suddenly time comes when such a one can restrain herself no longer, and leaving behind her a poem couched in pitiful language and calculated to rouse the most painful sentiments of her remorse, she flies to some remote village in the mountains or some desolate seashore, and for a long while all trace of her is lost. So basically, the lady goes crazy, and leaves a divorce note and just runs away. Okay, let's ask Arthur what the fuck he meant. I'll get you the shovel, and you get the book of dark magic. Okay, all right, that sounds like a plan. Let's do it. Oh my god, Arthur, what the fuck? Let us know. Let us know in the comments, Arthur Wiley. We know you've been long dead, but can you let a bitch know? Can you explain? Can you justify your translation to me? Your public domain translation. Can you justify it to me? Thanks. Oh man. So basically, just talking about how like this lady, like how ladies can sometimes have, you know, imperfections that cause them to be kind of unhappy, and then they can't take it anymore and they run away, which is kind of what happened with Genji's mom to begin with, because she was like the favored one, the favored consort by the emperor, right? And um, she was miserable for it. Like she spent all her days at the palace, but like all these jealous ladies were doing horrible things to her, and she died because of that. So she couldn't run away. Like she only in death could she get away from that situation. Like that sucks. So maybe this is a dig at Genji. Like I don't know. Now that I think about it, maybe this is a dig at Genji. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting. Um, so I guess I'll read a little bit more. When I was a boy, the ladies in waiting used to tell me sad tales of this kind. Yeah, but they did. I never doubted that the sentiments expressed in them were real, and I wept profusely. But now I'm beginning to suspect that such sorrows are for the most part affectation. She has left behind this lady whom we are imagining, mind you. She's left behind a husband who is probably still fond of her, and she is making herself very unhappy. And by disappearing in this way, is causing him unspeakable anxiety, perhaps only for the ridiculous purpose of putting his affection to the test. I see. Do you really love me? I'm going to run away and make sure you find out. Make sure to find out. That's just silly. Then comes along some admiring friend crying, "What a heart! What depth of feeling!" She becomes more lugubrious, lugubrious, lugubrious than ever, and finally enters a nunnery. I love when people become nuns. That's great. Not only was she more lugubrious than ever, she became a nun. This hypothetical woman that we are imagining. Oh man. Oh, this is hilarious. When she decided on this step, she was perfectly sincere and had not the slightest intention of ever returning to the world. True story. True story. When Scott and I first moved into our apartment in Japan, we were living in the teachers' apartments, right? And we had a neighbor who was a music teacher, um, allegedly, and she left. Like she pieced out of there, like like a month or so after we moved in. And the only thing I ever heard of it was my friend, who also happened to be my landlord, said, "Yeah, she quit school to become a nun. She quit teaching to become a nun." Like, I really hope it wasn't that like month and a half that she had to live next to us that like made her go off the deep end and become a nun. I hope not. But maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe there's just something about living next to me that's sets people off and just wants them. There's just something about me that makes people want to repent and become a nun. I don't know. Even men. I don't know. I don't know. Oh man. Okay, so let's read more about this lugubrious nun. And when she decided to step, blah blah blah. Yeah, she wasn't coming back. But then the female friend of hers hears of it, and poor thing, and she cries, "What in what an agony of mind must she have been to do this? Oh my God, why is my friend becoming a nun?" And visits her in her cell. Being a nun isn't really like being in prison. Like you go and you do nun things, and you do some chants and write some stuff. It's very, I don't know. Quit school to become a nun, which, depending on where you go, could mean they are still a teacher and just wanted to slap students around. Yes, but it would, but she did not. She legit went to like a Buddhist monastery to become like a God, what are they called? I guess a nun, a Buddhist nun of sorts. So like, yeah, she went to become a monk. That's what the word monk. She went to become a monk. So kind of like a nun. So I don't think she was actually teaching. I think she legit just like shaved her head and became a monk, which is not unheard of in Japan. That happens all the time. So there are literally shrines everywhere, or temples and shrines everywhere. So there's one behind our school actually. One of the schools I used to work at, there was a Buddhist temple there with a very pretty garden. They did light shows sometimes too. It was really cool. Um, so yeah, so when the husband, who've never ceased to mourn for her, hears what she has become, he bursts into tears, and some servant or old nurse, seeing this, bustles off to the nunnery with tales of the husband's despair. So this is just a bunch of back and forth of like, oh, I suspect my husband doesn't love me. I must run away and become a nun. And then when she runs away and becomes a nun, like her husband hears about it, and it's like, oh, this is what happened to my wife. Oh, oh my goodness, what a shame, what a shame. And then the nun, forgetting where and what she is, raises her hand to her head to straighten her hair, blah blah blah. And then she realizes it's not there anymore because she's a fucking monk nun. In her helpless misery, she sinks to the floor and do what she will, but tears begin to flow. This is like misery just to be miserable. Like, this is just misery to be miserable. Like, just, why couldn't you just like talk to your husband? Like, why couldn't you just like talk to him and be like, "Yo, babe, you still love me, right?" Or like, I don't know, like follow him around or something. Spy on him. Spy on him, girl. There's like 90 other things you could have done besides cutting off your hair and becoming a nun. You don't need to be so dramatic, goddamn. Right? So goofy. I think my mouse really is dying, but you know what? It's okay. I'll charge the battery later. But talking to your husband is how you get happy marriage, and happy marriages are boring stories. I guess. I guess maybe in its day, stories like this back in the day, um, were hot shit. Stories where people run away to monasteries and are overcome with woe and passion. Like, historically, stories like this, spoiler alert, stories like this are just eaten up by people, like over the course of, in Japanese culture over the course of time. Like Misery is just like bestseller. So, I mean, just passion and misery. But I guess that applies to a lot of reading genres in general. People love misery and passion. Maybe I should write the great worldly novel called Misery and Passion. And but in it the wife talks to her husband and they have a really good time. And then the earth blows up. And that's the end. Misery and passion, everybody. It's not exactly what the title says at all. I could do that. If I wasn't such a shit writer, I could do that. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so we'll read a little bit more. Like we'll finish up this paragraph. Now all is lost, for she cannot at every moment be praying for strength. There creeps into her mind a sinful thought that she did ill to become a nun, and so often does she commit this sin that even Buddha must think of her wickeder now than she was before she took her vows. Oh, she is just a hussy. She is a horrible human being. Buddha, who, spoiler alert, Buddha believes that everybody is pure at their very core. So I don't know why Buddha would even think she was wicked to begin with, but here we are. So he must think her wickeder now than she was before she took her vows to become a nun, and she feels certain that these terrible thoughts are leading her soul to the blackest hell. Yes. But if the karma of their past lives should chance to be strongly weighted against a parting, she'll be found and captured before she has taken her final vows. Like, is she going to commit suicide now? Is that how this is going? Is that how this is going? This hypothetical woman is now going to be like committing suicide because she what a mess. In such a case their life will be beyond endurance unless she be fully determined, come good or ill, this time to close her eyes to all that goes amiss. Yeah, so basically if you can't like accept that your husband's got some flaws and maybe and you can't talk about it, maybe you should just get your one-way ticket to the blackest hell. I don't know. Hell sounds like fun sometimes. I don't know. Japanese hell's lit. There's a lot of crazy shit going on there. I'm not gonna bring it up on stream because some of it's really, 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 really dark, but you can Google it. Again, there are others who must needs be forever mounting guard over their own and their husband's affections. Such a one, if she sees in him not a fault indeed, but even the slightest inclination to stray, makes a foolish scene, declaring with an indignation that she will have no more to do with him. Oh god, this is making my head spin. I can't read anymore. Alright, I'm putting my foot down there. I am invoking Scott, and I am putting my foot down there, because, like, these are all just hypothetical situations. Like, is this, like, foreshadowing? Like, really bad foreshadowing, where, like, they have all these hypothetical situations. These teenage boys are all sitting in this prince's room, like, well, what if we, like, have this girl that does this, and this, and this, and this? Like, what if like you get this girl and like she's like kind of pretty and she kind of does stuff she kind of does butt stuff and like but she like thinks you're cheating on her all the time, so she becomes a nun and then she like kills herself because she's just so crazy about it. Like, is this what teenage boys talk about? Like, is this what everybody at sleepovers talks about? Is if you choose a wife who becomes a nun, what if your wife becomes a nun? Maybe that's another book that should be written. What to do if your wife becomes a nun. A 10-step guide to getting her back or just letting it go completely and finding a new one. Oh god. Oh my god. Yeah, I think we have done Arthur Wiley's translation some justice. We've read 48, almost 49 pages of it. But Abby, you didn't read the prologue? No. No. We read almost 49 pages. And I think this is where I'm gonna commit to reading like the Cliffs Notes or Spark Notes. You know, I mean, it sounds like a conversation I've heard of, but despite being a teenage boy once upon a time, I rarely spoke to teenage boys like that, even when they were my peers. Yeah. That's a vibe that I get, and I know that like the cultures are different. Obviously, like the times and cultures are different, but like there are certain things about teenage boys that transcend time and culture, and they're the same. But I guess talking about future wives becoming nuns isn't one of them. Oh man. Oh. Yeah, I don't ever remember talking about future husbands becoming monks or priests or whatever with my friends. So, wait, you guys didn't talk about that stuff? Wait, what? What? Oh my goodness. It's pouring rain outside. I'm surprised that like it's the mic's not picking it up. Like we have a metal roof and it's loud. It's really loud. Well, maybe I should clarify that statement was more I didn't have friends than anything. Hey, but you know what? That's okay too cuz like well, male friends. That's okay too. That's okay too. Friends is friends, you know? Like I guess put it this way, like groups of teenagers. I guess whether they be male or female or anything in between. Um there are similar things that are talked about, but I guess that but like across time and space there are similar things that are talked about, but again, like, you know, having your partner become a monk isn't one of them, I guess. Having your partner get so upset because they think you're cheating on them and then they become a monk and cut off all their hair isn't one of them, I guess. Unless you're Genji. Unless you're Hikaru Genji. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, God, I can't even remember what I would talk about. Like I all I remember is like when I was a teenager, like all I did was like smoke weed and talk about dumb shit. That's all I remember. I guess I don't really remember much. Must have been the weed, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. But in any case, I think that we have again we have given this story such a good run, and I really like kind of like can we do spark notes even still exist? Like, can I get like spark notes Tale of Genji? Gosh, I guess maybe this is like Tale of Ganji. What am I thinking of? Hold on. Okay, spark notes do still exist. Okay. I hope this wasn't. Oh, great. It's still around. Great, great. Awesome. That's superb. All right. So I just hope that it's not like. I hope I don't get like copyright dinged for looking at it, but I don't think so. I'm just looking at the internet. God. Oh, that's right. Barnes and Noble bought Spark Notes. Okay. Um, full book summary. What is this shit about? As far as I know, there's Sassy on Twitter with memes about stories. Well, I hope they move that shit to Blue Sky so that one day a month that I look at Blue Sky, they will be there and I can see their sassiness. Okay, so blah blah blah. Yeah, we read about this. Married him to Lady Aoi. Yep. Yep. First son is heir apparent. We read that. I guess we're on the romantic adventure part. Oh wow, the list of women he pursues is long. So basically, we were kind of on the cusp of his fuckboy phase. Okay. Princess Wisteria. So is that Fujinotsubo? Because Fuji's Wisteria. Probably. Cicada's a good name. Yugal, Violet, Princess Hitachi, blah blah blah. Hitachi, like Princess Hitachi 1 Oh yes, honey. The older woman at court. Naishi no Kami, Lady of Akashi, yep. And his success with them is varied. So he's going after like a lot of older women. He's trying to be a fuck boy for all of these older, because he has like no responsibilities basically, because he's just the pretty emperor's son. Like he doesn't have to worry about becoming emperor, right? So, um, yeah, and of course Kolkiden comes back, and Aoi and Lady of Rokujo are kind of mad. Oh yes, here's the vengeful spirit shit. Yes, I learned about that stuff. So like in Heian Japan, vengeful spirits are like a big deal. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like people that die and were wronged, really, really wronged, their spirits are angry and they fuck shit up. Like there's a guy around this time period who like he um he um he was like part of the court, the royal court, and he's like considered like the god of education now. And like you'll see his statue, like every Japanese school has a statue of him with a book in his hand and a backpack, like old school style, right? Um but when he died, like he was kind of disgraced because of someone lying about him and making him look bad. And then after he died, the royal palace was struck by lightning like 3 times and it killed a bunch of people. So after that, they were like, "Fuck, please, dude, we're so sorry. Can you just like we'll give you a higher rank. Will that appease your vengeful spirit?" Spoiler alert, it didn't. Um and so he was like the god of like thunder and lightning for a long time too, until, his spirit was eventually pacified, and now he's just people go to his shrine in Kyoto to pray for like academic success and things like that. And it's a really nice shrine. I've been there. It's really cool. I saw a really cute kitten there. It's very cute. Um, that's a very nice place. If you ever have a chance to go to Kitano Tenmangu, you should. It's very cool. Very cool place. Um, okay, so yeah, so like Koki then obviously her jealousy was gonna come in on this. Rokujo, I guess, died. Um, and she kills one of his lovers after they fuck. Um, and wow, she attacks Genji's wife. Aoi gives birth to a son and he dies a few days later. Wow. Genji's encounter with Naishi no Kami, blah blah blah, one of Lady Kokiden's sisters. Oh shit! He went for one of Kokiden's sisters. Wow, that's dangerous, dude. And because his father stepped down from the throne before he died, there's no real check on fucking Kokiden's power. So Kokiden's just kind of fucking shit up. So he's prominent, performing at festivals and popular with many at the court. She prevails and he leaves for Suma in exile. He's miserable. He's missing his friends and all of his fuck buddies. And his friends write him, but most people kind of were with Lady Kokiden, blah blah blah, and the new emperor. And so a relative of his mother's, blah blah blah. Okay. Oh wow, this is long. He comes back. More people die. So they decide, in the end, they decide the issue of this new emperor, who he gets to marry, is dependent on a competition of paintings. I kind of really like that. And Genji wins, of course. There are 37 more chapters in the full version of the Tale of Genji, but most abridged versions end at this painting competition that determines the spouse of the next emperor. What a world we live in. What a world we live in. Okay. Well, we're probably going to talk about stuff that happened outside of that scope on Saturday, would be my guess, or we're going to talk more about the vengeful spirit stuff because that shit's fun. Um, so yeah. All right. Well, I think we've done a lot of good reading these past couple of days. And I think we've done a really good job, kind of wading through this very word salady translation of um, the Tale of Genji, and that's okay. It's public domain. It's what we got. Um, so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now, and I feel like we've all learned a lot, and hopefully Saturday will be cool. So yeah. All right. Well, so that's gonna be it for me for tonight. My throat's starting to kind of be a little bit sore from talking so much anyway, so I should get some more tea and more cough drops, whatever. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all so much. Um, Next stream, I don't know, maybe Sunday. I would say Sunday ish. Give myself a few days to kind of recover, rejuvenate, moisturize my throat, um, and all that jazz. So hopefully Sunday we will return, and we will either be playing Recesses or Fear and Hunger, most likely. Um, we'll see. We will see. All right, but until then, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna go get something warm and juicy to eat, and you guys have a great night, and definitely read on. Oh yeah. See you later.